Hello guys, in today's video I am going to teach you how to beat every hostile doors entity on Roblox. Let's get into it. So, we'll first mention the ones that you won't really have to worry about. First one is Jack. It's a little jump scare that occurs. It's a 1 in 200 chance when you open a closet, and a 1 in 2,000 chance when you open a door. It won't do any damage or anything, just a little jump scare. Next is Glitch. If you ever get a door that is glitched, Glitch will come and teleport you to the next room. It won't do any damage, it'll just teleport you. Next is Timothy. Timothy is a spider. 1 in 200 chance when you open a cabinet. I think that's about all the entities you don't have to worry about. If we need any more, we'll go over them. So, first is Rush. Rush will, rush across. So, you're able to hide from it in a closet or a bed. So, say I was walking, and then we walk out, and the lights flicker. So, light has suddenly flickered. Let's pretend this is a closet. So, we're gonna hide in it, and then Rush is gonna go nyan across, and we are going to survive it. You're also able to hide in beds, or just away from Rush, and you're able to survive. So, next, if you hide in a closet or a bed for too long, that is when you'll get hide. Always be careful when you're hiding from Rush or other things, which we'll get to, because this, hide will push you out of the closet or the bed, dealing around, I'll say 3/8 of your health, maybe a bit more, and stun you for a bit. And it takes around 10 seconds for you to be able to enter the same closet again, so just always be careful. If you're in April Fool's super hard mode, then it will be way quicker getting pushed out, so just be really careful when you're hiding. So on the topic of hiding from things, next on our list is Ambush. So Ambush is basically Rush. The lights will flicker, and instead of hearing the glitchy noise that Rush will make, you understand what I mean. Ambush sounds like a vacuum, so the lights will flicker, a bookshelf will fall over, and it sounds like and Ambush is like a radioactive green colour. But the surroundings turn to this luminescent pink colour because it's the opposite of green. I really do not know what Ambush is on, but it's definitely on something. So, next, it comes back multiple times. So it'll go while we're hiding. And then it'll come back the other way. And just know that Ambush comes from the doors ahead of you. So, actually it'll be and then I'll go back, and I'll repeat that 2 to 6 times, but I'll go this 2 to 6 times, not this 2 to 6 times, keep that in mind. I'll do this 1 to 3 times, so it can also be a 0.5 if we're talking about that. So, just be careful when hiding from Ambush. You're gonna have to go in and out of the closet or the bed that you're hiding in, but you can also just hide in away from Ambush, and you can survive without having to deal with timing it from hide. Let's hop on to our next entity you have to survive, Screech. So, if Rush or Ambush come, they will leave a dark room behind, but it can also just be a normal dark room. You can stumble upon a dark room where the lights aren't there. So, while you're walking through, you might hear a psst. Now, the psst can occur anywhere in the game as ambience, but the Screech psst, this is what Screech looks like, by the way. So, we're just walking, we hear a psst in a dark room, that sounds loud. We have to look up, down, and then do a 360, and we have our eye on Screech. Now, if you stare at Screech for a split second, it'll screech, and it'll just go to the abyss. And you've survived it, good job. Next is Eyes. So eyes, you'll walk in and you'll hear this like whispering noise, this whispering ambience. You have to just look down and walk through it. It emits this like blue, pink sort of glow. Don't worry about it though. Just look down and you'll survive it. You'll take around 5 damage, like every, well, I'd say maybe 10 damage a second, if you look at it, but it's in intervals of 5, so yeah. Alright, next on our list is Seek. This is one of the main entities you're going to encounter. So, it spawns from doors 30 to 40 and doors 70 to 80, but on the 70 to 80 it could be before because of a new update. So you'll see some eyes on the wall, there's like white gooey eyes on the wall. The lights will flicker, but rush or ambush or anything else that flickers the lights do not spawn. So you'll just be looking at these eyes. They look like this, they're always staring at you. These are the eyes that you have to look at. And you'll just be walking along, and then you'll get to this long hallway with no eyes in it. Once you reach the end of that hallway, Seek will spawn. We'll cover 30 to 40 first, and then we'll go to 70 to 80. So you'll be walking, and then we get to the end, and then we'll stop for a cutscene. I am now Seek, I emerge from the ground, and I start running at you. There are 3 things that you have to look for. A bookshelf, roundabout, and hands rooms. So the bookshelf one is the first one you'll encounter. You'll have to crouch through the correct bookshelf case twice, and then you get to the next room. It's quite simple. Now, Guiding Light, which is a helpful entity, will guide you through it with the light. That's why it's called Guiding Light. So it'll be this. Crouch. And then you go to the next one, crouch, and then you've made it. Next is the roundabout. This is the second room you'll encounter, right after the crouch one. Remember we're talking about 30 or 40, so things will be different on the 70 to 80 one. So you'll walk in, and there'll be this, like, pillar in the center. Now, while you're walking, turn your, in real life, head to the left of the screen. If the door on the left is, has guiding light on it, you want to go left. If it doesn't, go right. If it's also not right, it's in the middle. I tend to go right when it's middle, just because I'm always looking to the left. And once you've mastered that, you have also mastered 70 to 80. We'll get to that later. And then it'll be another bookshelf, another roundabout, and then it might go on for a little longer. I wouldn't expect it to go on for much longer. And then you get the hand room. Your screen will start shaking a lot. It'll be like proper turning 45 degrees. You have to avoid the burning chandeliers, which will do 7/16 of your health, I'd say. I'd say that's as much as hide as well. So you'll be going along, and you have to dodge the fallen chandeliers. But there's also like goo hands sticking out of the windows. Those instant kill you, so just don't touch them. And then you've made it past the Seek chest. For 70 to 80, it's just roundabouts with the hands at the end. The hand is always at the end though. So you'll have around 4 roundabouts and then the hands at the end. Now, the next one is Halt. This is the final entity that the lights flicker on. So, if the lights flicker for a really long time, Halt is in the next room. Now, Halt, it's interesting. The room turns to blue, and you'll just be walking forward. Once you hear this sort of glitch noise, keep walking forward. Halt is now spawned and is chasing after you. Once you hear it a second time, Halt will appear in front of you. It says turn around, but you can just start walking backwards with the S key, and you are still fine. And then, once you hear it the third time, go forward, fourth time, go backwards, until you eventually get out of there. There is this halfway mark with, like, this door frame in it. There's no actual door there, but there's just a door frame. That's how you know you're halfway. So, next entity on our list is Figure. Now, before we get to Figure, because it's an awfully long one we have to do, we'll talk about Timothy a bit more, because there's this little key I missed out. Unlike Jack, Timothy will deal 5 damage. Now, this 5 damage will not kill you. So if you have less than 5 health, Timothy will just do less than 5. It's not like certain how little health you can get to, because you can always lose more health, but it'll deal quite a bit of damage. Oh no, not quite a bit actually. It'll barely do anything. Alright, now let's go back to Figure. So Figure spawns in doors 50 and doors 100. We'll cover door 50 first. It's a library, and you'll hear a car engine noise in this this room before the library. That's just Figure, don't worry about it. So it'll do this animation. Say this is the door, and we walk through it. Then suddenly, we'll say we're Figure. We'll appear here, we'll start running at it, but we're blind. But we hear a noise to the right, because we have insane hearing. So we just Naruto run over here. So, now we have to crouch. So stay crouched for this entire thing, because Figure has insane hearing. And you have to find 8 books around the entire place. Now, the code will vary. There's a 1 in 10,000 chance that we'll get the same code. So it's just find the 8 books. There's a paper on this desk on the left of the library that you have to collect. And it'll give you this thing. So, for example, X is... Wait, no. We'll say I is X. I is 1. 2 is I. We'll say that's O. 3 is I, which is a, we'll just do, upside down, well, we'll do a question mark, actually. Guess what 4 is? IV. We'll do that as an exclamation mark. And finally, V is 5. We'll do that as a apostrophe. So there'll be 3 books that you don't have to worry about, but you have to collect all 8 because they'll save the last one. It doesn't have to be apostrophe as the last one, but they'll save one of these books until the very end, so you have to collect all 8. So, for example, it could be, say X is 3, O is 4, so on, until you get a random code. 3, 4, 9, 7, 1. This is a random code. It will not be this for you unless you get a 1 in 10,000 chance. So, once you get that, input it at the door at the top of the library, and you will escape. Then let's go on to door 100. So before that, there's a bit of a greenhouse where you'll encounter Rush a lot more, but the lights aren't actually there in the greenhouse, so you have to listen for a sound that indicates Rush is coming. Once you hear Rush coming, you have to hide. Eyes will spawn a lot more as well. It'll kind of light it up. So once you survive those 10 doors of terror, 90 to 99, Snare is also in there. It's like these bear traps that stun you for a bit. They do about the same damage as Timothy. Once you go through the greenhouse, you'll encounter Figure at door 100. So, firstly, find 10 fuse boxes around that maze. Do not press the lever in a big room, whatever you do, until I say so. Once you've collected those 10 fuses, go back to where you found the lever and now press it. Figure will then come down and run after you. You have to run away from it, and then once the intense music of the chase is gone, go back to where it started running at you, go up the stairs it ran down, and turn right, and you should go to the elevator. Around that is a key. Go back down those stairs once you get the key, and to your right now will be this little room. You have to unlock the room with the key, input the 10 fuses you got, and then Figure will light on fire, fall out a window, and you have to do a breaker puzzle. This breaker puzzle will be like 5 on, 4 off, so on, until all 10 of them are like on or off. And then you move on to the second one. The second one is faster. but we don't, I mean, as long as you're good at memory, then okay. Finally, the third one is the fastest, and there's also a missing one that you have to figure out, because 9 of the numbers are mentioned, but the 10th one is not, so you have to remember the 9 numbers that were there, and you have to get the 10th one on or off. Once you've done that, Figure will go through the door right behind you somehow. Somehow it got back in the hotel and everything. So you have to run for your life to the elevator that you found the key at, and then you've beat the game. One more thing before we go off Figure. There's also a heartbeat minigame that happens. So if you hide from Figure in a closet or a bed, most likely a closet, because I don't think there's any beds you can hide in. But if you're hiding, a heartbeat minigame will come up. So there'll be a heart in the middle of the screen. You have to press Q and E, or left click and right click. Q and left click are for the left side, and E and right click are for the right side. You can pick either or. You can pick Q and E, or right click and left click. It doesn't matter. So there'll be these like left side of the heart or the right side of the heart coming at the screen, and once the half of it is lined up with the heart in the middle of the screen, you left click or right click depending on what side it is. This will only occur if Figure knows that you're in the closet. So if you're just hiding from Figure and you're at the other side of the map, then it probably won't get it, so don't worry. Now that we've got Figure out of the way, let's move on to the next ones. So, we've got Void. Void only appears in multiplayer, and if you're far behind your team, then you will get teleported there, and it'll do roughly the same damage as Hide and the other guy we mentioned. I can't remember the other guy, but you know what I mean. So, finally, before we get onto the 3 wacky ones, we have Dupe. You have to memorize all the door numbers. And if suddenly there's 2 doors, you have to go through the correct door. If not, Dupe will spawn and take away the same health as Hide, Hide and the Falling Chandelier, and the other guy we mentioned. There's a lot of the ones that do the same damage, but yeah. If you're in super hard mode, Dupe will spawn a lot more and will insta-kill you, turn into a subspace trip mine. So now we'll go on to the 3 wacky ones. A60, A90, and A120. These are not actually in the main game, so if you're just regularly playing and not trying to find secrets, do not worry about these 3. So these guys are the Chon, and if you go into the rooms, which you need 2 lockpicks and a skeleton key for, I won't discuss how to get into it, but if you're in there, you have to deal with these 3 guys. And only these 3 guys, besides Glitch, but, you know, don't worry about Glitch. So, if you're walking forward, then you may encounter one of these 3 entities. Know that they are going to definitely spawn beyond the respective door number. So A60 will start spawning after A60, A90 will start spawning after A90, and A120, guess what, after A120. So, firstly, they can spawn before their door number, but it's unlikely, so don't worry too much about that. A60 is rush, but you won't have, like, lights to flicker, so you're just gonna have to listen for it. A90 is the real halt, because you have to halt when you see it. And if you do not comply in 0.0000001 seconds, 95% of your health will be gone. So don't enter the rooms if you have 5% of your health gone. It's kind of bad when Timothy exists. And finally, A120 is basically ambush. So when it spawns, you can go through the next room. You have to go into the room you were in when it spawned, so you have to go back a room, hide in a closet there, and wait for A120 to go. It can rebound. It's not likely to rebound, but it can, so beware. Also, I do not believe hide is in the room, so you can just chill in the closets for as long as you want. And that is all the entities. So, thank you for watching. There are chapters to help you if you need to re-look at this video. And I'll see you in the next one. So until then, goodbye.